Salakia. But like Awashai says, you know, because you said that you can see, therefore your sin remaineth. You know, that's these people, man. This world. Especially Jake that comes into this truth and doesn't stick with it, and they go back into the world, man, saying, "Oh, I see, I can see." Saying I can break down the scriptures, man. They're not following under the correct order. Making their own doctrine out of things. Therefore, their sin remaineth, and it also increases, man. It increased. So in Romans chapter 3 and verse 4, let me read that again. God forbid, yea, let God be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. But if our unrighteousness commend the righteousness of the Most High, what shall we say? Is the Most High unrighteous, who taketh vengeance? I speak as a man. God forbid. For then how shall God judge the world? For if the truth of the Most High hath more abound throughout my lie unto his glory, why yet am I also judged as a sinner? And not rather as we be slanderously reported, and as some affirm that we say, let us do evil, that good may come, whose damnation is just. What then? Are we better than they? No, in no wise. For we have before proved, both Jews and Gentiles, that they are all under sin. As it is written, there is none righteous, no, not one. All right? So we all have to admit that, man. That's part of having that what is that called? That guilt, that built up guilt, man. That's all part of it. Knowing that you are a sinner. You can't sit there and say, oh, well, I followed the law, statutes, and commandments since I was a little kid, I'm not a sinner. Because that would be a false claim, man. We've all sinned. Every single one of us, Even by the wearing of our clothes. Because we really, the way it's set up, we're supposed to be wearing either all cotton or all linen, all right? You can't mix fabrics, man. And that's written in the law. You see? That's written in the law. But not all of us can keep that. We can't all buy 100% cotton everything, man. We just can't. So there's certain laws that we can't keep, that we can't do. I believe Elder Tahar made a video yesterday or the day before talking about that. He was saying, according to the law, if you see a so-called a gay, a faggot, all right, you're supposed to put him to death according to the law. Now, we don't do that, all right, because that's against Esau Edom's law. That's against his law. So we don't teach to go out there and start killing homosexuals, man. You're going off. You see? So there's certain things we teach to do, and then there's certain teachings, all right, that we clarify what the scripture means. That doesn't mean we teach to go out and do it. But Jake want to be all sensitive, man. You Israelites are sensitive. So let me go back. Let me see. Let me read this one, and then I'm going to go to Jeremiah 7. Let's see. Jeremiah 7. Let me read this one first, Salaki. Jeremiah 7 in verse, Jeremiah 7:34. Then will I cause to cease from the cities of Judah and from the streets of Jerusalem the voice of mirth, the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom, and the voice of the bride, for the land shall be desolate. You know? So because we didn't keep that, the law, statutes, and commandments, because we didn't keep the the statutes that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai had left us, all right? That's why Israel was made desolate, man. You know? So he sees the bridegroom, which is the word, all right? The law. He sees the bridegroom from being in Israel, all right? And he sees the bride from being in Israel, which is who? The Israelites, all right? They are the bride of the Most High, you know? Adorned and ready whenever the Yahushai comes back. So, going back to Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 19. If ye be willing and obedient, ye shall eat the good of the land. But if ye refuse and rebel, ye shall be devoured with the sword, for the mouth of Yahweh hath spoken it. You see? So that's why we were dismayed and taken, man. You know? Because we didn't pay attention to what we were supposed to do. You know? Like it says, I believe it was Jeremiah 8. I think it was Jeremiah 8. Somewhere around the 6th verse. It says, Slovakia. I'm gonna have to get it. This is Jeremiah chapter 8 and 9. The wise men are ashamed, they are dismayed and taken. Lo, they have rejected the word of Yahweh, and what wisdom is in them. You see? So that's why every single time in the book of Maccabees, if you read the book of Maccabees, you have that's why you have the Israelites, all right, that were in captivity so many times because they didn't keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You know? They weren't baptized in the truth of the Most High. They weren't ready. You know? They were going after their own lusts. They were going after, you know, their own thoughts. You know, the lust of the mind, of the heart. They were going after all those things. And, you know, that's how the heathen preferred it. The heathen preferred for the Israelites to go after the lusts. You know? But as soon as the Israelites started coming back into the light of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the heathen hated it. You know? And they would try to go in. They would try to go in and split that up. Because they knew as soon as they came back to the light of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, all right, the Most High would save them. You know? It's happened over and over and over and over throughout history. You know? The Israelites fall out of grace. All right? Those are the angels that didn't keep their first estate. That was our first estate. You know? Like the book of Revelation says, you know, remember your first love. That was our first estate, to be in the light of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. You know? And since the Israelites didn't keep that, all right, they fell out of the grace of the Most High. But as soon as they came back in the grace of the Most High would save them out of captivity. You know? And that's how he's always done it. So eventually, what he did was he took his name out of Israel. You know, so they couldn't call him the name of the Most High anymore, and they had to serve slavery. You know, and that's what happened around the 1500s. You know, in the 1600s, you had Jake serving Esau Edom. You know, Jacob had to serve Esau Edom, and you know, Salakia. And we're still in captivity right now. You know? You can say that you're free all day long, man. You can say that you're free. All right? But try and cross this road while a police officer is looking at you. You're going to get a ticket, man. And if you resist, all right? If you resist to get that ticket, guess what? You're going to get your ass thrown in jail. You know? You're not free to do what you want to do. You know? You can't just go to a bank, get a loan, and then start your business, and then everybody's happy. That's not how it goes. You know? And people have that misconception thinking, all right, that everybody here is living good. You know? So it says, verse 10, therefore will I give their wives unto others, and their fields to them that shall inherit them. For everyone from the least even unto the greatest is given to covetousness. From the prophet even unto the priest everyone dealeth falsely. All right? So if you want to, all right, you want to be in a good conscience towards the Most High, then you can't deal falsely. If you deal falsely, all right, then you're going to have a guilty conscience. All right? And that's going to be against you. You know, the same thing with meat. When we're talking about literal meat, you know? When we're talking about literal meat, all right, like the apostle says, you know, if it offends your brother, don't eat it. You know? And that's not talking about, you know, oh, well, I can eat pork, but if it offends you, I can't eat it around you. That's not what that's talking about, man. You know, it's talking about, you know, meat given unto idols. For we know that there's no other power but the power of the Most High. You know? So all you got to do is bless over that meat. You know? In the name of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, you bless that food and you can eat it. But if it offends the brother, if it confounds him and he's like, man, why is he eating that? And it's going to cause him to go off, all right? Because he's going to have a guilty conscience thinking that he did wrong, all right? Then don't eat that meat, all right? And it has to be clean meat, you know? Things are specified, you know, like that thing with, what was it? The book of John, you know, when Peter... when Peter went to go meet Cornelius, you know? When Peter went to meet Cornelius in the book of Acts, and Yahushua came down with a sheet full of unclean animals, fowls of the air, and insects, all right, four-legged creatures, and he said, kill and eat. You know, kill and eat. And he said, not so, Lord. All right, no undefiled thing has ever entered into my mouth. You know, no undefiled, no unclean or common thing has entered into my mouth. You know, and Yahushua said, call thou not common or unclean that which the Most High has cleansed. All right, and Peter was in his mind, he was troubled in the book of Acts. All right, he was troubled, thinking about, man, what does this mean? You know? And then he went to sleep. All right, Cornelius had received a vision, and he had sent two men to, I believe it was 3. I believe it was 2 men and another man that was close to Cornelius that he had sent forth, but I think it was 2, that he had sent forth to Peter, all right, to bring him to Cornelius so he can tell Cornelius what to do, according to his faith. So, that those men went up to Peter, all right, and it was clarified in Peter's mind what that vision was. And it's not talking about you can eat pork and you can eat whatever you want to eat, all right? That's not what that's talking about, because Peter even clarified it, all right? Peter said, let me get it. That was the book of Acts. I believe it was book of Acts chapter 10, if I'm not mistaken. This is Acts let me see. Was it Acts? Joe Plus, surname Elijah Senior Tanner. On the morrow they went. All right, Acts 10 and 13. It says, and there came a voice to him, rise, Peter, kill and eat. But Peter said, not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean. And the voice spake unto him again the second time, what God hath cleansed, that call not thou common. This was done thrice, and the vessel was received up again into heaven. All right, so Peter was confounded in his mind. He didn't know what that meant. But later on it clarifies. And let me see if I can find it real quick. Then Peter went down. Just man feared the Most High, could report among the nations, and the Jews, was warned from the Most High by an angel, and sent thee into his house, and to hear the words. Then called he them. Tomorrow Peter was with him, certain brethren, and Job and him fell down to his feet. Okay, this is Acts 10 and 25. It says, and as Peter was coming in, Cornelius met him and fell down at his feet and worshipped him. But Peter took him up, saying, stand up, I myself also am a man. And as he talked with them, he went in and found many that were came together. And he said unto them, ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation. And that word, another nation, all right, is talking about of another tribe, all right, of the children of Israel. You see? So Cornelius was an Israelite. He was from a different tribe of Israel. He wasn't from the tribe of Judah, Benjamin, or Levi, He was from one of the tribes of the northern kingdom. You see? Because you had certain Israelites, all right, when they went into captivity to Assyria, all right, you had Israelites that stayed in Assyria, and you had Israelites that left Assyria, all right, and they stayed somewhere else. But predominantly, the 10 tribes, they left Assyria by the Euphrates, all right, and then they went around the Africas, and then they came over here to the Americas, all right, and it took about 1.5 years. You see? So Cornelius was one of those 10 tribes, from one of those 10 tribes that stayed behind. It says, Keep company with another nation, but the most, all right, here it is. Keep company or come unto one of another nation, which is of Israel, all right? Because really, each tribe is a nation, all right? Each tribe of Israel is a nation. The same thing with the other tribes. You know, you have the tribe of Amalek, which is over there in Israel right now, and they're basically a nation themselves, you know? You have the German, which are Edomites, which is a whole nation themselves, you know? So the same thing with Jacob, with Israel. You know, each tribe is basically a nation within itself. So it says, but the Most High hath shown me that I should not call any man common or unclean. You see? So it doesn't matter if you look like a so-called Israelite, a so-called Negro, all right? It doesn't matter. What matters is the spirit that is inside you, all right? And if this truth resonates within your mind and it stirs up your mind, all right, like the brother would tell me, then you're an Israelite, you know? And this truth is dealing with you, man. You see? So going back to Psalms 51, and let me start off at verse 7. Let me start off at verse 6. It says, behold, thou desirest, Salakia 5. Psalms 51 and 5. Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. All right? So in sin, David's mother conceived David. You know? It was by sin. You know? Because I believe David's mother was a harlot. I believe. Salakia if I'm wrong. You know? But that didn't mean anything, because the seed line is what matters. You know? Same thing with his grandmother, I believe it was. You had Boaz, Ruth, all right? And out of them came Obed. And out of Obed came Jesse. So his great-great-grandmother, all right? Solomon's great-great-grandmother was a Moabite woman. You know? She was a Moabite woman. And then Solomon's wife was an Ammonite. And then the other one was a Canaanite woman, a Cushite. A Hamite, you know? And she wasn't supposed to be married to him, you know? And that's another thing that El Tahar was explaining. You know, if you have a woman that's from another nation, not of Israel, all right, then she's going to go into slavery. You know, that's just how it is, man. That's what the scripture says, you know? She can be your concubine, all right, but she can't be your wife in the kingdom, man. You know? In the kingdom of heaven, the wives are the Israelites, you know? It's talking about Israelite women. The ones that are not of Israel are concubines. That's what it means to have a concubine, and that's what it means to have a wife. You know? And people misinterpret that. But it says, verse 5, behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. Behold, thou desirest truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden parts thou shalt make me to know wisdom. You see? The Most High desires truth in the inward parts. All right? What else does it say? It says, and in the hidden parts thou shalt make me to know wisdom. You know? So what are the hidden parts? In here, man. You know? He's going to convince you himself in your mind. All right? That's how the Most High works. You see? You don't speak gibberish, because then that's to no edification. You know, people think that when you speak in tongues, you're speaking gibberish. Oh, that's when the Holy Spirit came into him and he just started saying a whole bunch of weird words, man. You know? But in reality, if the Holy Spirit comes into you, then guess what you're going to start doing? All right, you're going to start reading, studying, learning, and then you're going to start prophesying eventually. You know? Because like the apostle said, you know, what was that? I think it was 14. Let me see if I can get that real quick. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 1. Follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye may prophesy. You see? So that's the main thing, man, to prophesy. Because if you don't prophesy, then this word is never going out. These vibrations that's contained within the scriptures, they're never going to be pushed out into the world, man. And nothing's going to change, you know? And you hear Jake, say, you know, we're gonna march and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna proclaim, all right, for change to happen. We want better things to happen in this world. You know? Jake will do that up and down the damn streets, man. They won't even move an inch. You know? They've been marching for over 150 years. They've been marching and marching and marching, and guess what? Esau Edom still doesn't give a damn. He's killing you in your damn apartment. You know? But we see things speeding up through the Spirit. We see these things speeding up, man. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has been showing us. You know? World War III is in the midst. All right? We're in the midst of World War III. The RFID chip is about to be presented, which is the mark of the beast. Jacob's trouble is coming. You know? So you better get this word while it's still out, man. You know? You better get this bread while it's still hot. Because when that bread is cold, all right, when there's a famine of the word, we're not going to have time to break down the scriptures anymore, man. The elders are not going to have time to break down the scriptures. You know? So what good is going to come if you don't have that meat? You know? When you see things popping off, what do? You know? Where do I run? Do I stay here? Or, you know, my woman doesn't want to leave, so is that a sign? Should I stay here? You know? But in those days, hey, I'm going to end it with that one in this lesson. Lord willing, I can remember it. You know? It just came into my spirit. But I'm going to continue with this lesson. But Lord willing, I can end it with that one. So let me go back. I'm going to continue with this lesson. This is Psalms 51 and verse 5. Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. Behold, thou desirest truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden parts thou shalt make me to know wisdom. What is that? Isaiah 30:28. And 9. This is Isaiah 28 and verse 9. And let me get this other one lined up. Salakia. Having trouble remembering where it's at. This is Salakia. This is Isaiah chapter 28 and verse 9. Whom shall he teach knowledge, and whom shall he make to understand doctrine? Them that are weaned from the milk and drawn from the breast. All right? Those that are drawn from the milk, all right? Those that are weaned from the milk. That means you're cleaving onto it. You know? Cleave onto that which is good and abhor that which is evil. You know? And what is good but the Most High? And this is the word of the Most High, man. So you have to cleave unto this word. You know? Drawn from the breast. All right? Drawn from this book, man. You know? The word that is drawn out of this book. You know? I remember when I first read that, I perceived it as scripture. All right? When I first read that part, Isaiah 28 and 9, I perceived it as scripture. Never did I realize that it never specifies that it's scripture. You know, so when I was teaching somebody and they say, okay, but how do you know that's talking about the Bible? All right. How do you know? Well, the next part kind of clarifies it. You know, it says, for precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to his people. You know? So he's going to speak to his people by way of this word, by way of this doctrine. You know? But people were like, well, show me. Give me another precept that shows me that that's actually talking about the Bible. You know? And I never really realized that it never specifies or clarifies that it's talking about the Bible. You know? But as we read in 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 1, wherefore, laying aside all malice and guile and hypocrisies and envies and evil speakings, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. If so be ye have tasted that the Most High, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, is gracious. You know? So that's how we understood these scriptures, man. Because the Most High has showed it unto us. You know? We've tasted of his sweetness. You know? What is that? 1 Corinthians 2? You know? It's up to the Most High to give you that increase, man. You know? It's not up to us. We can love you all we want to love you. You know? But if the Most High doesn't will for you to come into this truth, then that's just what it's going to be. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, Salakia. 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 6. I have planted, Apollo watered, and the Most High gave the increase. So then neither is it that, Salakia. So then neither is he that planteth anything, neither he that watereth, but the Most High that giveth the increase. Now he that planteth and he that watereth are one. Every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor. You know? So according to your labor, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai is going to either increase you or kick you out. You know? Let me get this one. This is Psalms. Let me see. C is 100. L is 50. 63. Psalm 63 and 1. It says, a psalm of David when he was in the wilderness of Judah. O Yahweh, thou art my God, my power. Early will I seek thee. All right. Thou art my God, my power. Early will I seek thee. And that's how you're supposed to do. Or that's what you're supposed to do. Seek the Most High while he may be found. You know, which is early. It says, my soul thirsteth for thee. My flesh longeth for thee in a dry and thirsty land where no water is. All right. Now I went into it, I think it was last week. I went into the word being as water, you know, because in John chapter 4, Yahweh Shai tells the Samaritan woman, he tells the Samaritan woman, all right, if you would have known who's asking you for water, you would have asked of me for water, because the water that you drink from this well, all right, you're going to thirst again. But the water that you drink from me, you'll never thirst again. You know? You'll have a living well inside of you, which is living water, all right, which is this word. So it says, and dry and thirsty land where no water is, all right, because this is the valley of shadow of death, you know? This is the shadow of death, man. You know, valley meaning low, shadow of death meaning darkness, man. You know, this place has a lot of darkness, and our people have been brought down very low into a very, very dark place, man. You know, so that's why in Ezekiel 37 it says to prophesy to the winds, prophesy unto these bones, you know, so that those bones can revive again, man. You know, come back into this fold, come back into this truth. That's why when Yahweh Shai says, in another fold I have, all right, and another sheep I have, which is not of this fold, it's talking about the northern kingdom. You know? But now all of us are coming back into this truth, man. So it says, verse 2, to see thy power and thy glory, so as I have seen thee in the sanctuary, because thy loving kindness is better than life, my lips shall praise thee. Thus will I bless thee while I live. I will lift up my hands in thy name. All right? And that's what we do. We say, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. You know, we give all honor, glory, and praise to the Most High Yahweh and to his son Yahweh Shai. You know? And that's what David was prophesying about, man. You know? Because going after Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is better than this life that we have. You know? And this all goes into the baptism. You know, you can't be baptized with the word if you're wicked. You can't be baptized with truth if you're going to be deceitful. All right? You can't baptize in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai if you're going to be walking alongside Esau, Edom all the damn day. You know? This all goes into that baptism, man. So it says, verse 3, because thy loving kindness is better than life, my lips shall praise thee. Thus will I bless thee while I live. I will lift up my hands in thy name. My soul shall be satisfied as with marrow and fatness. All right? My soul shall be satisfied as with marrow and fatness. And my mouth shall praise thee with joyful lips. You see? So when those bones were coming together and there was flesh and sinews put upon that those bodies, all right, it was talking about the marrow and the what do you say? The marrow and the fatness, the flesh, you know, marrow and fatness. is for the spirit, for the soul, man. You know, being fed this truth. You know, and our people came back to life through Christianity as a platform. You know, because they had a zeal for the Most High. So they came back through Christianity as a platform, all right? And then when that platform was used, the Most High used that platform to come into this truth, you know? And that's when he breathed that breath of life, which that breath of life is wisdom, you know? So it says, verse 6, when I remember thee upon my bed and meditate on thee in the night watches, because thou hast been my help. Therefore in the shadow of thy wings will I rejoice. My soul followeth hard after thee. Thy right hand upholdeth me. But those that seek my soul to destroy it shall go into the lower parts of the earth, which is what? Death. All right? Those that seek to destroy Israel are going to be destroyed, man. You know? In particular, the elect. You know, on this side. When Yahushua comes back, and those that are seeking after the elect to destroy them, they're the ones that are going to end up being destroyed, man. You know, in the lower parts of the earth. 10 feet down. So it says, verse 10, they shall fall by the sword, there shall be a portion of foxes, but the king shall rejoice in God. But the king shall rejoice in God. Now, what does that mean? Who's the king? Well, we know that the Most High is the king. But why did David, all right, why did David say the king shall rejoice in the Most High? With a capital K. So who is that king? Yahushua. You know? Because the Most High gave everything for an inheritance unto Yahushua, according to the book of Psalms. You know? Ask me the heathen for thine heritage. How does it go? Salakia. Let me just go back to it. Let me just go to it. Psalms chapter 2 and verse 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron, thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Be wise now therefore, O ye kings. All right, it's talking about multiple. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth. All right, because the kings are the 144,000 elect men. And according to Exodus chapter 16 verse Exodus 16 and 9, I believe. All right, or Exodus 19 and 6, Salakia. Exodus 19 and 6, all right, it tells you that the children of Israel are those kings and priests, and we're going to be a holy nation unto the Most High. You know? Why? Because of this word that we possess. That's the salt of the earth. All right? Ye are the salt of the earth. But if the salt has lost its flavor, wherein shall it be salted? Or wherein shall it be flavored? You know? And what is that special thing that was given to us? The spirit of truth. You know? We are the children of wisdom. You see? So that spirit of truth only dwells and resides within Israel. You know? So it says, back in Psalms 63 and 11, but the king singular, shall rejoice in the Most High. Everyone that sweareth by him shall glory, but the mouth of them that speak lies shall be stopped. All right? The mouth of them that speak lies shall be stopped. That means put away. You know? So going back to Psalms 51 and 6, behold, thou desirest the truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden parts thou shalt make me to know wisdom. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. You see, that's what King David was talking about, you know, where it says, though ye be stained with crimson, yet shall ye be made white as snow, I believe. White as the wool, you know. Yeah. That's not talking about a color, you know. You know, a carnal thing. It's talking about a spiritual thing, man. You know, even though we're dirty, you know, we're filthy rags, even though we're all sinners, we're going to be made white as snow. That means clean, pure, righteous, perfect, you know. I just remembered that one I was trying to bring out earlier. Man, what was it? Yeah, man. Lord willing, it'll come back. It'll come back, Lord willing. Let me read that again. Verse 7. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice. You see, so in Ezekiel 37, those broken bones that were scattered everywhere, all right, was due to our iniquity, but the Most High punished us, like I read in Jeremiah chapter 8, you know, and in Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 61, you know, where it says that he was going to cease, you know, that gladness to stop, man, you know. That's why we went into slavery, we went into captivity, you know, but we're going to be made white, we're going to be cleansed by the truth of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So it says, make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice. Hide thy face from my sins, and blot out all my iniquities. Create in me a clean heart, O Most High, and renew a right spirit within me. Let me get Ezekiel 36 and 27. And let me get this one too. Ezekiel 36. Ezekiel 37, I'm going to start off at 24, and let me get this one too. What was it? This is Matthew 5 and 13. You know, I had made mention of this a couple times, but let me bring it out. Matthew 5 and 13. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt has lost its savor, wherewith shall it be salted? It is therefore good for nothing, but to be cast out and trodden under foot. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto the whole, but it giveth light unto all that are in the house. So who's the house of Israel? Judah, Benjamin, Levi, it's the 12 tribes. You see? So it says, let your light shine, let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot and one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, ye shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. All right, because the Pharisees and the wicked Pharisees and wicked scribes, they would teach and they wouldn't do. All right, and like it says in the book of James, you know, faith without works is vain. It's vain. You know, so you have to show your works, man. Whether that be studying, listen to the elders, to the apostles, you know, believe in this truth. Like I said, eventually, if the Lord wills, he's going to bring you out to the highways and byways to preach and call out, you know, to call out to our people. You see? So back in Ezekiel 37 or 36, what was it? Ezekiel 36? Yeah, Salakia. Ezekiel 36 and 24. For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all the countries and bring you into your own land. You see? That's what's going to happen when you follow this truth, man. You know? That's that baptism. Being baptized by this truth. It says, verse 25, then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean from all your filthiness, and from all your idols will I cleanse you. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put in you. And I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. All right? So that we can listen to the Most High better. Because now our people are so hard-headed, all right, that when you tell them something, they don't want to hear it. All right? They don't want to hear it. You see? So what's the Most High gonna do? He's gonna cleanse us of our wickedness, man. You know? Predominantly, it's gonna be with the 144,000 elect, all right? And it's gonna be a great multitude that follows that are also Israelites. You know, and it's mostly gonna be women. You know, that great number, women and children, you know? But the 144,000 are elect Israelite men. You see? Elect Israelite men. So it says, verse 27, and I will put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them. And ye shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your God. You see? So the Most High already wrote it. It's already in stone, man. The Most High already said it's going to happen. All right? This is Jeremiah 31 and verse 31. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, Yahweh, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them up out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them, saith Yahweh. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith Yahweh, I will put my law in their inward parts, and write in their hearts, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. And that word covenant is an alliance, an agreement. All right? The same thing with the word testament. That word testament in Luke, what was it? Luke 20. Was it Luke 26 and 26? I think it was Luke 26, if I'm not mistaken. No, can't be Luke 26. What was it? Oh. Matthew 26 and 26. And as they were eating, Yahushua took bread and blessed it, and brake it and gave it to his disciples, and said, "Take, eat, this is my body." And he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, "Drink ye of it, for this is my blood of the New Testament, which is shed for many for the remission of sins." He didn't say for everybody. He said it's shed for many for the remission of sins. And those are the ones that come back into the graces of the Most High, you know? And that word testament there is diatheke. Diatheke in the Greek means a covenant, an agreement, all right? So that new covenant pertains to Israel, you see? Let me get Deuteronomy 33 and 26. "There is none like unto the God of Jeshurun, who writeth upon the excellency, who writeth upon the heaven in thy help, and in his excellency on the sky. The eternal God is thy refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms. And he shall thrust out the enemy from before thee, and shall say, Destroy them. Israel then shall dwell in safety alone, the fountain of Jacob upon the land of corn and wine. Also his heavens shall drop down dew." All right? Because when the Most High saves Israel, all right, he's going to give you that land back. He's going to give you the law, statutes, and commandments in your inward parts. All right? He's going to give you all those promises, man. You know? Because that's who it pertains to Israel, the Israelites. You see? It pertains to the Israelites. It says, "Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people, saved by Yahweh, the shield of thy excellency, and who is the sword of thy excellency, and thine enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places." You know? So that baptism, all right, wash ye, make ye clean, all right, is talking about on a conscious level. You see? It's not talking about a literal go wash yourself like we read in 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 20 on down, you know? It's talking about being made clean, Salakia, being made clean in the spirit, all right? Because the spirit and the flesh have no dwelling together, you know? So the Most High is going to cause it to where we're going to be made perfect, you see? That's the baptism. It's not a baptism by water, all right? Because it shows you that the Most High is going to water you, man. All right? But like that similitude that Apostle Paul used when he said, "I have planted, Apollos has watered, but the Most High gave the increase." Ultimately, that's what it's going to be. You know? We may plant the seed in your mind, and somebody may water it by feeding you more scriptures. All right? But ultimately, the Most High is going to give you that increase, man. You know? This is John chapter 11, and I'm going to end it with this one. John 12 and 37. "But though he had done so many miracles before them, yet they believed not on him." All right, so if you didn't believe those miracles that the Lord did, how are you going to believe somebody that's going to come out here and tell you what the truth is? You see? The Israelites themselves didn't believe, man. There was a lot of Judah, Benjamin, and Levites, all right, that lived in Israel at that time, and they didn't believe in the Lord. You know? They didn't believe him. So if we tell you things, all right, that are of this earth that are coming, all right, and you don't believe, how can we tell you spiritual things, man? You know? So it says, verse 38, "That the saying of Isaiah, which is Isaiah, the prophet might be fulfilled, which he spake, Lord, who hath believed our report, and to whom hath the arm of the Lord been revealed? Therefore they could not believe, because that Isaiah said again, he hath blinded their eyes and hardened their heart, and they should not see with their eyes, nor understand with their heart, and be converted, and I should heal them. These sayings said Isaiah, when he saw his glory and spake of him.
Where do you live?
Why does it matter?
It's not in this neighborhood.
Why does it matter?
This is my neighborhood.
Okay, we'll go back to your neighborhood, man.
So,
just like we're preaching out here, man, the police...
I've already called the cops on you.
Okay, that's fine. They've
Clear
came
out.
here a bunch of times.
Clear out.
Fucking Edomites, man.
Clear out.
Swear, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to destroy this fucking place, man.
Not downtown
All right.
Austin.
Goddamn Edomites, man. You know? But with that, you know, Yahweh Shai presented himself a living sacrifice, man. He came out and he did what he had to do. And people still didn't believe on his report. You know? And even though people didn't believe on his report, yet he still did it. And guess what? People that were supposed to believe, believed. All right? You know? Blessed are those people that don't see and yet they believe, man. And those are the Israelites being baptized by this word, by this truth. Believing in it 100%, man. You know? That's what that is. That's what that baptism is. You see? So with that, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honor to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth to rule well, Shalom, and stay strong out there, Akim. You know, another thing, America is coming down, man. America is going to come down, all right? And that goes for anybody that wants to hear it. You see? America is going to be destroyed, man. And that's a fact, all right? We already see people being scared by things that are happening, you know? So Shalom and death to America. Shalom.